Alright, we've got another Quantum self-propel dirt buster it's called, but we're going to start it up and see how it sounds. Okay, and then I'll do a review. Have a look at the filter. The RPMs came up about 300 or 400. Look at that. But it's not covered with oil. So I drive to connect the front wheels, so the lady's been mowing her lawn because her husband works away and she's been pushing the gears. Spark plug out of there. Oh yeah. So now that is interesting. Let me just bow your head a bit here. Look at that. I don't want to touch it. It's hot, eh? There we go. That's a dirty plug. Let's put that by the air filter. Okay. Now, we're going to raise your head up. Raise your head up high. Let's crank this old Briggs & Stratton into the air. This is a big mower to be pushing around without the assist. Eh? So the next thing we're going to look at is this wire that feeds the self-propel. That's the emergency part. Just put this two-stroke fuel back where it belongs. My shop doesn't make a lot of sense, but it makes sense to me. Okay, 5/16. Righto. So now we're going to have a look at the drive, right? Because we have to change the cable. Okay, we got to turn on the air compressor. I'm sorry. Oh, we're good. We might be able to get some of this fluff out of here. So this wire was in this conduit for controlling the engine on and off. Can you see that right there? As soon as this tilts up, it's in gear and driving forward, and as soon as it falls down, it's in neutral. I know, it's pretty primitive, eh? But this is the one that came off the lawnmower. The wire was inside here like this. Like it was up, probably reaches to here. Yes. So this wire reaches to that bend break / problem. But I just happen to have in my tool trunk an almost undamaged one of these with a little kink in it right there. I'll put some heat shrink on that. and then, but it's got the wrong end up here, so I'm going to just cut this off, and we're going to splice it and do our magic. I know, I think I can do it. But this is the wrong end here. We need this end on there with this hook, or this hook, right? I might use either one, they're pretty close. So I'm going to just play a little bit, so please give me some time. The first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the one that's right on the machine. Good. Now, how does that come off of there? Oh, just off the side. No problem. Okay, so now we have the actual one. So is it? Some of them have, this one has a shorter end. This is the one that I had for the replacement, which is almost identical. In fact, it is. Right there, the two. And then I have one that's got a little bit longer Gumby hooser right on the end there. See how much longer that is than the other two? So I think I'm going to go for the one that has the most length, excuse me. We have to change this out to this. Yeah, that's the only one of those I've got, so I better be careful with it. I'm going to just snip this off as long as I can. A little risky. And we're going to pull this out from here, like that. And we're going to take the one that came with the, you'll see what I'm doing here. It's all good. It's all good. We take this off, right? And we stick this guy on here. We hope. Is it a different size? Nope, it's the same. Oh, I got two of them. Hey, drop the bone. I want to screw this into here. My wife said I'm getting a little grouchy with customers that don't maintain their machines. So maybe it's time I take a few days off. I'm not getting grouchy with them personally. I'm getting grouchy at them not in front of the camera. So, now let's poke this into here just to see. Maybe. Maybe, baby. It's going. Okay, let's go back to work here. Oh, now we're at the wicked spot. I know how to do this. There it goes. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not a lot of room to spare, but I'm going to take this off. So pull this back now, not all the way. And I'm going to try and see if I can unscrew this. Yeah. Now let's check our length. We're right there. Right there. Oh, the length is almost identical. And look at that. This is from, the two cables both have the same problem, but this one's kinked and the wire broke off and this one slipped through. So I'm going to put a piece of heat shrink on there. And I'm going to save as much length as I can, and I'm going to take a small grinder and buzz that off of there. I'm going to turn you off. Oh, here we go. Hey, hey, how about that? Zing, zing with an air. Right back. So this black cable was physically broken right there. So I did go to the other one, and I put this nice patch on there, and so that it won't bend at the old crack. And now I'm just going to put a piece of heat shrink on there. Let's see, it should be centered about there. And I start in the middle on these. Well, not quite in the middle, but it should seal as well. You don't want to get too much goo in that joint. Now we're going to cool this off. We've got to see if the wire still slides inside, and it does. Cool! That's about the best cable repair I've done. Good. Now we have to hook this back up. Yeehaw! Let's do it. It bends like that. Can you believe that? I can. So that goes through there and hooks onto the edge of this. That's so weird, man. And then this just clamps onto there like that. That is just so bizarre, man. So there it is, right there. Finally, we got a shot of it. So there's the spring, and the cable goes into the clip, and the clip is right there. Holy, that's a tough shot, guys. I got it. Check that out, right there. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. We had a little cockpit trouble, we call that. Operator error. Look at that. Now, I don't know if you saw how it started up, but it was running terrible. So I'm just going to take some air, first of all, and get rid of this fluff around the carburetor. We're going to start it back up and see if it runs any better. I bet you the spark plug's black. Okay, so you heard it sound a lot better there. I'm just going to make sure that you saw the beginning of the video where it wasn't running good. I'll be right back. So if I have to, I use these as a Z-bend, and the cable goes in through like that, and whoops, it goes in through like that, and you tighten them up. The cable actually goes right through them. Well, here, let's do. Oh, we can do that. Demo time. Just pretend this cable's a little longer. Here's one. Is the end cut? Yes, it is. So, and these are really easy. You just put them in and you find the right length. Whoops. Yep, that's right. Right like that. Okay, there we go. And you just tighten that up with a 5/16. And you can set the length to anything. Whoops, you can set the length to anything you want. Sorry, I'm new at this, eh? But these are a little pricey. So what I do is I buy these by the 100, and they're kind of a splice setup. So if you want to add, if you don't have a hook, a Z-bend, or whatever you want to call that, you put this on one end. Just a minute, please. Right? And then going the other direction, you put this on the other end, but you have to be much more careful in your picking of the length, and then you hammer that flat or get a crimper. I just use a hammer. Seems to be working for me. And if it wasn't for these, I'd have to spend just about $40 on every lawnmower repair, because every lawnmower's got 3 or 4 cables on it nowadays. So here's what I've got. Right there. Right? And we have action down here. See that? And I'm just going to do the real world test and start the lawnmower up and see if the wheels turn. So here we go. Prime it up a little bit. Pull this down. Oh, I got no spark plug in there. That's what I was going to do. Good. Now we want to see a couple of things happen. We want this thing to start. Give it a couple more squirts with the, and then we want the front wheels to turn and stop. Well, that's pretty cool, eh? So now I'm just going to wrap up a couple other things. I'm going to secure these cables a little bit better. And we're going to go to plan B, which is finishing the tune-up. Yay! So, unfortunately for me, on the test, I just took it off the cart and I did a test. Let's see, what did I do? A test tickle? What was that? 9/16, there we go. And one tire spins more than the other. We got to take these tires off and quickly have a look and see if the gears or something aren't meshing with this outside tire. There we go. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Look at that. The gears are meshed. I wonder if I've got one. Man, this is hard on parts, eh? Okay, let's go see if I got one. My last drive wheel for Craftsman. This one's ground right down to the nubs, eh? It's not, you don't really see it until you look right there. There's the actual gear there, and then it's ground right down. And this one looks pretty good. But I'm going to use a file and clean them up, and I think it'll be fine. We're scrounging the bottom of the barrel here, eh? Hola, amigos. So on this old mower, where is it? I did the jet bolt, the quantum jet bolt clean, because I had to prime it every time I started it. And in case you don't know what that is, although most of you do by now, but not everybody knows about this. This is a carburetor. It hangs like that. When you take the bottom off the carburetor, you don't have, this is still on the machine, right? And you take this, and this just doesn't hold the bowl on. There's a jet there. Do you see the hole there? And there's a hole through it lengthwise right there. And sometimes if if you put a clamp on the gas line, and you just take that little brass jet out of there, it just clears it up enough so that she runs like a new machine. So now, I'm not kidding you, I only just tested this once, but when I pull the throttle now, I don't have to prime it, and I'll just show you. Isn't that cool? Okay. Hook up the spark plug again, and now we're going to put the cover on. Okay. All right. I got a list on this one. Made up the drive cable. New used. Left side, well, whatever side it is. The left side front wheel had for gears. Cleaned the carb. I just cleaned the bolt. New air filter, oil change. The blade was sharp. And clean plug. Starts when hot now. And oil the rewind, and 2 new handle cranks, or whatever they're called. So yeah, pretty much a full service and more. Let's see if it starts without being primed. Not quite, eh? So I think this is the first time this little mower has been to the doctor. I didn't find any evidence of funny business. I'm just going to have a look at that blade one more time. Wow, gosh. I'm going to tilt it back. I just want to make sure that everything looks... Yeah, it looks good. Yep. Good. Perfect. Put it away. This is the first time I've been caught up on owner machines in about a month. So thanks, guys.